So Leon Edwards is refusing to fight Colby Covington, and this is hilarious because we're going to find out how much power a UFC champion actually has over who they fight. And we're about to, I mean, these are new waters, man. We're about to test some brand new waters because the UFC, they also would love for him to fight Jorge Masvidal. However, they've got a much bigger agenda at play here, and we are going to talk about that right now. We got Leon Edwards, we got Jorge Masvidal, we got Colby Covington in the mix, and we are going to talk about a very, very complicated issue here. Now, I've got a video coming out later. I'm not sure which channel I'm going to put it on, but it's a complete and total top-to-bottom breakdown of who everyone is going to fight at welterweight. I don't know why I stopped doing videos like this, but I am bringing them back, and this one is comprehensive. And if you recall, who predicted they were going to cancel the last Leon and George Masvidal fight, I think you can feel pretty confident that my thinking in terms of what I'm going to put out there is probably going to be pretty accurate in terms of who's going to fight who next. So make sure to watch that when it comes out. Also, subscribe to the channel. I work really hard on here. I work really hard, and I appreciate everybody coming out for the live stream, but if you're going to watch my content, please go ahead and subscribe. That's the deal. We're handshaking it. Don't be the guy that's like, I don't care. I'm just going to watch it anyway. I'm not going to subscribe because that's super messed up. Anyway, so like I said, Dana White has come out and he said straight up, Colby Covington, he came out, he was the backup, he made weight, and he gets the next title shot. And he made that very clear, and I'm sure that that is not a small piece because Colby Covington can draw. Colby Covington brings a lot of eyeballs to the sport. Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington will do big numbers, right? So that is what Dana said, and Leon immediately shot it down. He said, I don't want Colby. Colby hasn't done anything to earn the title shot. I want Masvidal. Now, if Leon was sitting on his hands and just saying he wanted Masvidal because he just wanted the numbers, right? If he just wanted the numbers, that'd be one thing. But Masvidal punched him in the face, okay? Now, George has a fight next month. If he beats Gilbert Burns, if he beats him handily, listen, we're going to see what kind of power Leon Edwards has because he wants George. But what the UFC wants is much the UFC wants George to win when he fights Gilbert, but they also really want Colby to win against Leon. They have been trying to set up the Masvidal and Colby title fight for years. And so bet your life, this is their last chance to put it together. They're going to take their best shot at it. And their best shot is George fights Gilbert, Colby fights Leon, and they hope that both of them win, right? Now, do I think that Colby's going to beat Leon? I have no idea. It's a tough fight. But do I think that George can beat Burns? It's a much tougher fight that I'm going to be watching from very, very close to the cage, I think. But nonetheless, you know, I already filmed this video where I went down the entire welterweight division and I matched up every single fighter. There's a few people where I'm like, they're either going to fight this person or this person, and here's exactly why. And I just understand the way the UFC thinks. The way that you drive dollars is with the headline fight, and they are around title fights. Every once in a while, you can sneak one in with Conor against whoever, and it'll sell really well. But nothing sells like a blockbuster title fight. Nothing. Absolutely nothing sells like a blockbuster title fight. And a grudge match between what's his name? Colby and Masvidal after what happened in Miami, where Masvidal attacked Colby and you have an ongoing court case. Nothing will sell like that option. The thing that they were trying to put together with Kamaru for years, every time that Colby or Masvidal fought against Kamaru, if they would have won, they would have given the other guy the title shot, without a doubt. And so now they have one last chance to make this fight happen. Obviously, if Jorge loses to Burns, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And one thing I didn't talk about on my other video that's upcoming about the matchups is what happens if Jorge loses, because I meant to put that in there and I forgot. If Jorge loses, he will fight either Nate Diaz or Conor McGregor in a retirement fight, is my guess, right? He loses 4 in a row. Even though it's against the absolute tip-top guys, he's too big of a star to fight like young up-and-comers. He will fight either Conor or Diaz for a blockbuster paycheck, and that will be that. Okay? Now, I guess there's a possibility that if he wins, he fights the other one, right? Like, he could end up doing a Conor and a Diaz fight. It seems absolutely absurd to leave either of those fights on the table while he can still, walk around and throw punches. But the fight they want is they want Colby again, and they want it for a title. And I would imagine that the betting odds will be so heavily favored in Colby's direction that it'll be hard to even calculate. And people will forget that George almost knocked Colby out in the 4th round. It's not like he can't win, dude. If he wouldn't have been tired, he could have finished Colby off potentially. So that is what we are looking at, dude. Okay? And Leon, in my opinion, is fully within his rights to demand that fight. Fully within his rights. He got punched in the face in front of the entire world. The whole world saw George punch him in the face and him not be able to do anything. You know, like right now, you just saw Leon win the title against Kamaru, and he's the hero in the UK. I want you to think back. Everybody's seen the images of George punching him up and then him standing there bleeding out of his cheek and kind of just looking bewildered. Think back to that mental image right now that he's the champion. Picture that incident and then tell me that he doesn't deserve to fight against Masvidal for a title if Masvidal beats Burns. You know? Tell me that he doesn't deserve the opportunity to avenge that moment, because he does, in my opinion. So let's all root for George, because as long as George wins, listen, I'm not rooting against Burns, but as it relates to these particular matchups, they are very exciting. I want to see George against Leon. I want to see George against Colby. It just is what it is. I want to see George against Colby for a title because the UFC's been trying to put this together for so long that it's absolutely crazy. Let's get it, dude. Let's get it. So, anyway, that is basically what I got. Short video. I love you guys. Peace.